Welcome to NHK World Direct Talk, interviews with leaders, visionaries, and pioneers who shape Asia and the world. This time our guest is Madoka Kitamura, the president of the Japanese toilet manufacturer Toto. The company is the world's fourth largest maker of toilets, and it currently operates in 17 countries and territories. Toto has developed exceptional technology, and they tailor their products to local markets, as well as create toilets that are environmentally friendly. Madoka Kitamura spoke to us about how Toto wants their toilets to help solve some of the challenges facing the world today.
Everyone wants a clean toilet. We want the world to have clean toilets. We ourselves use toilets daily, so it's easy for us to say, I wish toilets were like this. The hard part is actually creating the technology, or to stick with a radical idea and make it happen. I think Toto tries harder on this front than anyone in the world, certainly when it comes to toilets anyway. We think of ourselves as the star slugger. We're the industry leader. We want to win. I also consider it a company's mission to create products at a reasonable cost.
Today, Toto is led by Madoka Kitamura. The company got its start in the year 1917. Japan had modernized rapidly on the model of the West. Lots of young Japanese people immersed in this new culture dreamed of going abroad. One of them was Toto's founder, Kazuchika Okuda. While traveling in Europe, Okuda was struck by something he saw there: flush toilets. At the time, Japan did not have modern sewage systems. People used dry toilets. Okuda thought that Japan needed flush toilets if it was to call itself one of the world's advanced nations. After he returned to Japan, he established the country's first producer of ceramic-seated flush toilets.
Having a proper sewage system is one sign of being an advanced, wealthy country, and it's a critical part of maintaining and, in fact, creating good hygiene. Toto said, we have to make ceramic sanitary ware, and we have to make it in Japan. That was the idea at the time of our founding. Our guiding principle is in a letter our first president wrote to our second president. It said, offer good products. Customer satisfaction is what matters. Profits are the trailing shadow of that. And if you chase the shadow, you're never going to get the real thing. That idea is the basis of our company. Profits don't come before customer satisfaction.
Over 60 years after Toto's founding, in 1980, the company released a product that changed Japanese toilets forever: a bidet toilet known as the washlet. It was inspired by a U.S. medical toilet for people with hemorrhoids. These toilets were imported to Japan, but many users complained about the unstable temperature and direction of the water that shot out. So Toto sought the help of hundreds of its employees to conduct tests to find the most comfortable water temperature. They also fine-tuned the length and angle of the nozzle down to the millimeter. In the end, they succeeded in creating an automatic bidet toilet. However, the initial unveiling of the product did not go smoothly.
It was right when I joined the company. The toilet had electrical parts that would short-circuit when water got inside. We had lots of technical problems. It was hailed as a landmark product, but if the customer can't see that, you can't sell it. We had loads of return products. When I first used it, I was like, this feels kind of weird. But soon I thought, wow, I can't do without it. It's simply a fact. Washing with water always feels better than just using paper. It feels very refreshing. Consumers were puzzled. It washes my bottom? They asked. So we asked people at our shops to try it. If they didn't like it, we wouldn't sell it. We went through this many times, refining the product to better meet consumer needs. You want to offer people dream products. Making things like that is what people expect of a company like Toto. If we had given up too early, the washlet would never have made it out into the world.
Successful and trusted in Japan, Toto began expanding into other markets. First Indonesia, then other parts of Asia. In 1990, the time seemed right to enter the United States, a massive and highly competitive market. The western part of the country suffers from frequent droughts, and lack of water is a big issue there. Just as Toto entered the U.S. market, strict limits on water usage went into effect. But Toto took this as an opportunity. At the time, water would pour straight through a toilet when it was flushed, using about 13 liters. Toto developed a toilet where the water swirled like a tornado, reducing water usage by more than half to just 6 liters. Today, Toto is working on water conservation technology that will get that amount down to 3.8 liters.
It wasn't easy to develop. Getting the shape right is tricky. And if the water goes too fast, waste might fly out of the toilet. Or when it finishes flushing, will there still be waste in the toilet? To test, we use 3D CAD software, hydraulic engineering analysis, and also we run simulations using supercomputers. We run tests again and again. In total, it takes a decade or more. In the US, the moment we finally made it was about 10 years ago. A consumer group praised our water-conserving toilets. Toto models were the 3 top sellers in the US. You only need to flush it once. People said a lot of nice things like that, and vendors started paying attention. Now, along the Las Vegas Strip, a majority of the hotels have Toto toilets. The reason is that even though our toilets don't use much water, they don't get clogged up. People say good things about them.
These days, Toto is focusing sharply on India. It's estimated that about half of households in India have a toilet. Many people defecate out in the open, which is unhygienic and can spread disease. Three years ago, Kitamura spearheaded the construction of a factory in India. He wants Toto toilets to play a role in solving issues related to public hygiene.
India is the next China. It's going to develop rapidly, become much richer. And to improve its public hygiene, India needs infrastructure. Sewer systems are a big part of that. It must figure out how to use its water effectively. This effort may take more than a decade, but as the country becomes richer, it will need to start making low-cost toilets that don't use too much water and making them in India. I really do mean that. I'm not talking about Toto Japan in India. I want to see Toto India, a company that succeeds for 100 years. We call Earth the blue planet, but 97% of our water is salt water. Only 3% of it is fresh water. We as a society have to figure out the best way to use this water together. India has over 1 billion people. If they had water-conserving toilets, that would make a huge difference. Keep costs down and get as many people as we can to use water-conserving toilets. That's Toto's job, I think.
Under President Kitamura, Toto is also seeing what it can do to help with an important global issue: the aging of society. The number of elderly people confined to bed is increasing, and the toilet is a real problem for many of them. So Toto has begun selling portable toilets that can be placed right at the bedside.
We at Toto feel it's something we simply must do. For a lot of people who are bedridden, it's so demeaning not to be able to use the toilet. They want their dignity. They want to be able to go to the toilet on their own, right to the end. It's a product society absolutely needs. It's just an issue of actually making it. Then get costs down so everyone can afford it. But first get it out there, then reduce costs. Not everyone needs it, but some people do. And we're the leading toilet maker. If we don't make it, who will? Where there's a will, there's a way. You have to think, no matter what, we're going to turn this into a product. I'm going to do this, whatever it takes. I will do this. If just 1 in 20 people thinks that way at your company, then I think you can make good, innovative products. We have so many new ideas for products. Our goal is always to create things that make people say, it would be great if there was a product like this. We want to do that with a smile on our faces.